Hey everybody, it's Jennifer J. Welcome back to Moving Forward. I have been MIA for a couple of weeks. I got COVID and was so sick and coughing. My throat is still really sore, but I'm going to do a short video for you guys, short lesson, and I just have missed you guys. I don't know if you've missed me, but I have missed being able to get recordings done. I am feeling much better. The doctor says I'm not contagious anymore, so that's great. But I have not been recording, so I apologize. I am going to be in Revelation chapter 3 today, and Revelation is way at the end of your Bible. So it's the very last book of the Bible, and it is Revelation. My pastor likes to point this out. It doesn't have an S on the end. It's not the book of Revelations. It's the book of Revelation because it is a revelation. So in chapter 3 and verses 7 and 8, it says, "And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, These things says he that is holy, he that is true, he that has the key of David, he that opens and no man shuts, and shuts and no man opens. I know your works. Behold, I have set before you an open door, and no man can shut it. For you had a little strength, and have kept my word, and have not denied my name." And there's a whole lesson in that. If you are at all familiar with Revelation, he talks to all 7 of the churches. And this one was the last one. And it's the only one that Jesus did not have a complaint with. He didn't have to say, here's what you're doing wrong, and here's what you're doing right. He just said, here's what you're doing right. Keep doing that. And so today at Pilgrim Rest, Pastor Mackey called it a model for ministry because this church was a model for ministry. So he said, don't be so consumed with what you have that you don't reach for more. So they were doing all the right things, but that doesn't mean they should be stagnant and not continue to grow and not continue to reach for more blessing. And so that is like us in our individual life. We can't become complacent. We can't say everything's going smooth, so I'm just going to coast a while. I think I've told you guys this before. I know I have, if you've watched any of the previous episodes. You can't sit still in your Christian walk. There's no such thing as sitting still. You can't rest. You're either moving forward or you're slipping backwards. So when you think you're sitting to rest, what's really happening is you're moving backwards. So that's one of the schemes of the devil, to get you to think that you're just going to sit here for a minute, you're going to sit on your laurels and all the great things you've done and the blessings God's given you, and you're just going to sit and enjoy that a while, and you quit moving forward in your ministry. That's when you're slipping backwards. And so we don't want to do that. We need to keep reaching forward. And so the 3 things he mentioned, and they were all in verse 8. I don't know if you heard them. For you had a little strength, and you kept my word, and you didn't deny my name. So they only had a little strength, but it says, well, they kept his word. So that was the first point that he made, was they kept his word. So you need to keep his word. And if you keep his word will keep you. So be in the word. I know I've been pounding that home and really trying to get you guys to understand how important that is, but really need to be keeping his word. So get in the word, open your Bible, read it every day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. And then also they depended on him. So it said they had little strength. They knew they needed him. They didn't have much strength, but he used examples like David with the slingshot. You know, Goliath was this great big giant, and David was a young boy, and all he had was a slingshot and some rocks. Excuse me. And so it only took, but David had faith, right? David had faith in God. So that's what it takes. It takes having faith. And then it says they knew that God was what they needed, so they relied on God. They totally had faith and relied on him to be the strength that they didn't have. So when you're tired and you're wanting to stop in your ministry or stop in your Christian walk for a minute and sit on those laurels because you're tired, just remember, sitting still means you're really moving backwards, but also you can rest in the strength that God gives you. You can keep moving forward in the strength that God gives you. And they thought the work was too big for them, but nothing's too big for God, right? So, and then they didn't deny his name. So back then, there were temples, and it was the Roman Empire, right? So they had to go to the temple and say that Caesar was Lord, and they refused. This Christian church, they refused to do that. They would not deny that Jesus was Lord. So, you know, that can get you in a lot of trouble with the Roman government, but they continued to do what they said. So there's going to be people in your life that try to get you to deny Jesus. They're going to try to get you to do things that you ought not be doing, go places you ought not be going, or staying too long at a place. You know, he mentioned, because it was college day at church today, so he was talking to the college kids, like, it's not that you can't go to that party, but you don't need to close it down. You don't need to be the last one to leave, you know. And the point he was trying to get across is, you know, we need to not forsake our Christian walk. We need to continue to follow Christ, and not negotiate that for anybody. So if you go to the party, doesn't mean you have to sin at the party. And certainly if the party is a place that God says you ought not even be at this particular party, depending on what kind of party it is, then maybe you have to just remove yourself. So anyway, those are the things. So keep his word, depend on him, and don't deny his name. And those are the things I wanted you guys to take away today. So stay in his word, keep reading your Bible, keep trusting him. With the strength that you have, it doesn't have to be a lot, you guys, it doesn't have to be a lot at all, but with the strength you have, make sure that you are calling on his name to give you the strength you need. And then also don't deny his name to anyone for any reason. You know, he says if we deny him before the Father, then he'll deny us before the Father. And we would not want that to happen. So make sure that we're not denying his name in any instance. And that is all, because my throat is already starting to get tense and raw. But I hope that you guys have a great week. I will try to be back on schedule now, going back to the Monday and Thursday schedule that I used to keep very regularly. And things got kind of crazy with the book. Oh, I'll give you an update on the book. I got the book cover back from the interior designer, and it looks fabulous. I'm so excited. And so now their job is to do the layout of the actual manuscript. And so once that's done, they'll send it to me for approval, and then we'll be good to go to print. So excited about that. It is going to be called You Can't Be Like Jonah, 1,200 Miles to Obedience, by Jennifer J. So I hope that you will look for it, and I will let you know as soon as it is actually available. So that is all for today, you guys. I hope you will go and read the whole book of Revelation, but start there with chapters 1, 2, and 3. Catch up with me there, and I will see you Thursday. Bye-bye.